Hello all, and welcome to the Swingwing Jet tutorial. Today we'll be looking at my Swingwing Jet creation. Just a little plaything I decided to build to see if I could even do it. Doesn't use any actual physical flaps for flight course alteration. Just uses weighted wheels, and I know there's probably better ways to do this, but I'm not that up on my modding, so the only modding done is copying from other machines and pasting the properties into my creations. So, anyway, let's get started here. Alright, first off, I want to point out I am not in invincibility mode. I have not really flown this in invincibility mode, so I have no idea exactly how it would react, especially to ground or mountain strikes. But in non-invincibility mode, it's actually quite fun to play around with. Although, front wheel right here is a little bit brittle, so if you bounce a little too hard, or even just bounce up and then land again, it might fall off. I'm not sure exactly how I should fix that, but anyway. Now, I would recommend that if you do want to play with this quite a bit, turn on infinite ammo, mainly for the jets and the cannons. Just that way you have more fun. Now, I have drag objects on because I tend to flip things, and, well, we all been there. Alright, let's get started. So, first off, to toggle cameras to get it to where you want to be, we've got a third-person camera on the first push of the F key, and then we have a first-person camera on the second push. And you can see the inner workings of the jet a little bit, the swing wings, back to forward. We have landing gear, which is controlled by the N and M key. N as in Nancy to retract, M as in Michael to deploy. Swing wings, right control to retract the wings, right alt to extend the wings, up arrow key for thrust. Now, a little side note for thrust, it's just the little fans off to the side here. I just invisible them out, just as a point of information. Now, as you can see, there's extensive use of skin packs, but your choice if you want to play with those. Anyway, back to controls. For rudder control, for yaw, left and right arrow keys. And seeing that it's a caster wheel, you can turn your jet around while on the ground fairly easily. For pitch, Y and H. Yep, and you can see right there, landing gear separated already. And then for roll, G and J. If you want, you can get your plane to be a little happy dancer. Alright, let's get a little more serious here and start taking off. So, to take off, you kind of want to hit the thrust and then immediately hit H. And then you can retract the landing gear if you wish. And then the wings. And then Y to level out. It flies fairly decently. Now, you don't want to keep the thrust pinned all the time, just because there are I believe 4 to 6 of those little fans that are modded to a fairly high speed. Whoop, oh, well. You'll be finding that will happen a lot. Alright, I'm gonna fly from the third-person camera, because that, for me, that's the easiest to fly with. Alright, hit the thrust, and then immediately push H to start taking it off, or else you're gonna be going straight for a long time. Now you can see I'm just blipping the throttle because I don't want to go too fast. You can see even under power, with the wings out, we lift off quite high and relieve the thrust, and we nose up quite a bit. So be aware of that when you're flying around. Retract the landing gear again is N. That helps out a little bit. Now you're going to be fidgeting with your pitch and yaw quite a bit, or pitch and roll quite a bit, not so much the yaw. But now I recommend flying this on the barren expanse just because it's so wide open, but it will fly on the smaller maps, even the old sandbox. Just gotta be careful of where you start, take off. Now, to go fast, we must retract the wings. You can see we go quite a bit faster. And we're not quite as maneuverable. Oop, and wall. Yeah. It'll take a lot of getting used to. I'm still getting used to it. But so, again, thrust, H, takeoff, landing gear, wings. Now, trying to do a loop with the wings in, not the best. You'll freeze. So, if you want to do tricks, recommend that you do it with the wings out, and preferably off power, because then you can do quick loops like this. You pretty much stop in midair and you can still keep going. Speaking of stopping midair, you can stall it and still go straight up. Not too terribly easy, but another fun thing I like to do with the wings out is inverted flight. Now this gets a little tricky because you want to try and play around, or trying to go down to go up, and it doesn't work quite as easily. As you can see, I screwed around and hit the wall again. But after a while, you should be able to get the hang of it. Oh, landing gear. But inverted flight with the wings out is pretty good. You want to keep up some airspeed here. But bring the wings in, and you plummet. So, inverted flight with the wings in, not such a good idea. But let's just say you'll get a lot of takeoff practice. But you can get going pretty good, a pretty good clip here. And then, oh no, surface-to-air missile. Flip, turn around, and there we go. Oh, we froze. Unlike Icarus, we didn't go too close to the sun. We went to outer space and froze. Anyway. But fun little plane to play with. Do with it what you want. Shoot things. Do aerobatics. Oop. And one of my things that I like to do is try and get through the arches. Not as easy as it may seem, but yeah, there's my little swing wing jet. So, well, I hope you all have a good time playing with it, and modders, if you want to screw around with it, be my guest.